This is episode 19 of the weekly vlog thing. Yay! So, Monday, not a lot, just some new series or some returning series on the telly. One of my favourites is a show called Ghosts, which is now on its third series, and I only discovered it about halfway through the last one, and so you know, obviously binge watched all the previous episodes, and it's very, very funny. This one, I don't know, it seems a little bit stilted, and I think it's because it was filmed under COVID-19 restrictions, so nobody's getting close, nobody's getting a cuddle or anything, and the crowd of plague victims in the basement are just not featuring in this series. On Tuesday, got this through the letterbox. It's a little flyer headed "Stand in the park with us each Sunday." They got the wrong house, I'm afraid. It says, "Do you feel something doesn't quite add up about the pandemic?" So, no. "Do you feel confused and uneasy about the constantly changing restrictions placed on our lives?" Yes, I do, but I think they're for the best. "Do you wonder if the vaccines are safe?" I absolutely trust that they're safe enough for general use, and there might be 1 in a million adverse reaction or you know, serious adverse reaction. But that's statistics. You do have a far greater risk of being run over by a bus. Are you worried that our society is rapidly being divided into two classes of people, the free and the barred? No. Yes, two classes, the super rich and everybody else. But no, the freedom. The more I hear about some people's interpretation of freedom, the less attractive it seems. Yeah, join like-minded people in the park every Sunday morning. It is a stand, not a protest. We stand for truth and individual freedom. No, you bloody don't. You stand for conspiracy theories. See, your personal freedom infringes on my personal freedom because I want to be free of this virus. You are not doing the things that will make that happen. Quite the reverse, you know. So I don't want anything to do with you. Conspiracy theorists will always say, do your research. But, well, I'll just read this thing. One of the most dangerous ideas that has come about in the last 3 years is that all points of view are equally valid and the average citizen, you, are just as equipped to judge which have merit as anyone else. Hear all sides and judge for yourself. No, I do not condone the death of expertise, and neither should you, etc. There's this idea that experts, that everybody is an expert or can be because they've watched a YouTube video. Not true, and especially not true in a medical context. Just don't. Just do. Just do what you're told. Can't believe I said that. Okay, Wednesday. My life has been turned upside down because my yoga teacher has gone on holiday for a month. So instead of going on Monday for last week and this week, there's a cover has been arranged, but it's on Wednesday. So yeah, so I went to yoga on Wednesday. And also on Wednesday, news that NASA's next major project to put people back on the moon might not happen when it's meant to in 2024, because they've decided that they need really to have some new spacesuits because the old ones are seriously like 20 years old or more and not fit for purpose. So they've got this project that's been going on for about 13 years to design and make new spacesuits. And how hard can that be? Apparently, if you're NASA, it's harder than making a rocket. So they've got a whole bunch of different companies working on different aspects of it, and they're all charging top dollar. The total cost is somewhere between 500 million and $1 billion. I mean, that's absolutely insane, and it'll be a year late. So they have put out feelers, and people like Elon Musk have said, "You want the new spacesuit? We can do that," you know. And of course they can, and probably within 6 months. It's just mad. NASA's procurement processors are just insane. On Thursday, Mrs. Planet says, "Oh, there's a programme you'll want to watch tonight. It's an adaptation of Terry Pratchett's novel, Night Watch." And I'm like, oh my God, I've heard about this, I've read about this, I've seen the trailer. This is produced by BBC America, which, why is the BBC making programmes in America? I don't know. But obviously a co-production with a company that's got lots of money, because the trailer that I've seen, it's not a lick of paint on some cardboard, it's got some proper CGI effects in it and stuff. But for some reason, whoever wrote it, whoever's directed it, they've just taken a concept and used bits of it, changed other bits of it. Cheery Little Bottom is no longer a dwarf, I don't think. They've just messed about with it horrendously. And to the extent that Terry Pratchett's daughter, Rihanna, was involved initially, as was Rob Wilkins, who was Terry's assistant. And, you know, they kind of both disowned the project. And Rihanna said that it shares no DNA whatsoever with her father's work. I don't want to just diss it. So I did watch the trailer, and now I'm dissing it. And also because I've read a lot of reviews by people who are not identifying themselves as Pratchett fans. I mean, I think if you are a Pratchett fan, you are instantly, immediately going to be so biased against it, you've got no chance of enjoying it. But even non-Pratchett fans don't enjoy it, haven't enjoyed it. So yeah, that is a shame. And I don't know why it is, but every attempt at adapting Pratchett's work, apart from Good Omens, which was co-written with Neil Gaiman, who was actually closely involved with producing the Good Omens series, every other attempt has been a dismal failure. It's like the people, I don't know, they've been reading different books to what I read, or, you know, I know readers put their own interpretation on everything they read, but for them to be so different it's just impossible. Well, it's incredible. Friday, spot of excitement on Friday afternoon. There was a huge rip-roaring sound as of the sky being torn apart, and it turned out to be a fighter jet, an RAF Typhoon, which had been scrambled from RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire, which is about, what, 100 miles away, and got here in about 2 seconds because there had been a light aircraft had lost contact with the control tower at Leeds Bradford Airport. So this jet was scrambled to find out what's happened, and they found the little plane and escorted it and landed it. And well, haven't heard any more. I don't know what the cause was. Possibly the pilot accidentally switched off the radio. These things can happen, I suppose. So that was a bit of excitement. A bit more excitement. Mrs. Planet says, "Shall we go to pub for our tea?" Given that the last time I went to a pub for a meal, she got pinged by the test and trace malarkey thing. Well, that's all done now. We're past that. So even if we do come in contact with somebody who's infected with COVID, we won't get pinged because we're not doing the app thing. Okay, so anyway, we went to a different pub, not a Wetherspoons, and it was okay, as chain pubs tend to be. Okay, but not outstanding. However, when the server came to clear away our plates, Mrs. Planet says to us, "Can you bring 2 spoons with the dessert?" And I didn't know there was going to be a dessert, but oh yes, there was. Just one, but I mean, actually it was plenty for 2. It was a choc sundae, it was called. It was a sundae glass full of creamy stuff, a chopped up Mars bar, a chopped up Snickers or something else, a load of Smarties on top, and syrup and wafer things, and oh god, it was glorious. It was just feel my arteries contracting. Saturday, I can't remember. I think I spent half of it in the shed trying to do something that didn't work out. Basically, I want to make a turntable, a motorised turntable, for when I'm doing icing cakes or something, or just showing a product. or a meal, so it'll just spin round slowly on its own. So I thought what I could do is just take the inner reel from a reel of 3D printing filament and use that. So, you know, sawed it in half, and with some kind of mounting. Well, I've got a ring bearing that fits outside that, and then a motor that presses against the plastic shaft. But the small motor that I've got doesn't generate enough torque at all. So even for, you know, something that's not very heavy like that. So what I'm going to have to do is do it properly, 3D print a cog thing, and then use a stepper motor to engage the circular cog and drive it. And also there'll need to be an Arduino and some control thingies, and it's going to get complicated again. So don't hold your breath. Sunday, you remember we went for a big walk last Sunday morning, or maybe you won't, but I thought, well, let's make a habit of this while I'm in the mood. So I'd found another pre-planned route that turned out to be one of the most rubbish descriptions of a walk route ever, and a really dodgy map. We may or may not have followed it, but basically it was to go to the top of Rawdon Billing Hill at Rawdon, which is actually is between here and the airport. You know, we got to the top of the hill, and this leaflet, it being produced by the NHS as, you know, get people moving, get them having some exercise and stuff. So that's good. But then it rated the difficulty because of going up a hill as being 2 out of 3. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a lot. Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, what is a 3 out of 3? Would it be like, you know, climbing up a wall or what? If it is, then 2 out of 3 is also pretty steep. So I had girded my loins, but it turned out it was a doddle, really. And we got to the top, from where you can get, you know, you get spectacular view, obviously. One of the interesting things, reading up on this, looking towards the airport, there used to be a secret aircraft factory there. Avro was the company, and during the Second World War, they had Europe's largest factory space beside the airport, and they were churning out bombers. Like, over the course of the war, they made more than 5,000 airplanes, which is amazing. What's even more amazing is that the Germans didn't know it was there. They'd camouflaged the roof. They'd hired some film TV people to do special effects, basically. So to cover the whole thing in like fake grass and dry stone walls and hedges and trees. And the hedges and trees were changed as the seasons changed, so that, you know, they would be full green in the summer, and then they'd go orange and start losing their leaves, and then there'd be no leaves in the winter, and then it'd all come back in the spring and everything. And also they had dummy cows and sheep that they moved around from time to time, so that, you know, and any aeroplane flying over wouldn't realise that there was actually a massive factory underneath all that. Incredible. So that was my week. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it, and see you next time.